Yep. Good evening, everyone. So, yesterday we learnt about few form related concepts, how to design form and validation. So, we learnt about formic library. I will give a brief summary about it. Formic library and yep, these two libraries we learnt. We learnt validation. We learnt about validation schema. We discussed about how to set the validation schema, and one more concept we discussed is about properties. What else we learned? Only these are example I given on validation schema. We learned example. Okay, next we discussed about form state validation and input state validation. What is form state? Form state is verifying all fields simultaneously, because if all fields are valid or they are touched or modified, then we can handle some interactions like we learnt is valid, we have dirty, and we have touched. We have errors. So we learnt how to get the validation summary and use. What is problem with formic hooks? What is issue with formic hooks? We already discussed that hooks are not allowed in class component. So you cannot use formic in class components. That is the problem with formic. So what is the solution? How we can manage? Let's see. For that, I told you about components now. So today I will give an example on that. Formic components. Yesterday already I given. Yesterday I given formic components like formic. We have a form, another field, and error message. Error message. Yesterday I given these components. What is advantage of these components? They are ready made. So very simple to design a form and put validation for the form. Let's see how they work. I will give a syntax for them. Yesterday I given only list. We will see the syntax for that. First, you need to design a formic. This formic will have initial values. It is dynamically defined initial values. We have validate. We have validation schema. And we have on submit like this. We can design a formic like this. Inside this formic, usually we will have a form. And inside the form, we will have events. We will have field. Field type is some text or email or number or date. Like this, you can put different types. And it have error message. Obviously, it will have one name, field name. Error message name refers to a field name. That's it. This is how we can design a form and we can add validation. So creating form and handling validation. So let's see how to design this, how it works. So I will create one form and observe carefully if you are working with React. Remember, form is different and form is different. These two are different. Both are not same. What is difference? One is capital letter, one is small letter. Then one one is a HTML form, another one is an formic form. A small mistake in capitalization will not work. By mistake you designed with an uppercase letter form, then it will fail. HTML form is in lowercase and formic form is in uppercase. So let's see how we do. This is actually a formic form component actually, and this is an HTML form. So if you are writing your own elements and all, then you better use this one. So formic and form. Let's see. I will open our project. So this is our project demo. Here, let's add one new component. In the components, I will add a component called formic demo. So formic demo.jsx. Okay, export function formic demo. We will create a simple form. Okay, so here we will design just a heading. So register user. Let's design one form. This time keep in startup formic demo and run this. Okay, this is the registration form we are having. Let's go to the design, and in the design you have to import these libraries. You have to import formic, we have to import form, we have to import a field, we have to import an error message. These we have to import from the formic library. Now let's design the formic. Inside formic, you will have a form. Here you mention what fields you want. The field name is username, just roughly, and data definition. Here we use a field, directly field, no input type, nothing. Every element of HTML you can design using one field, just field type as what? Text. Now this will have a name, and what is it? User name. I will put another one, mobile, and here it is a field. and the field type is text. Name is what? Mobile. We need a button, register button, and make sure button type is what? Submit. And here below, we need an error message. Error message is for which field? It is for username. Here again, one error message, and this is for which field? Mobile. And let's put error message with a color, text danger. Here also class text danger. After that, inside the formic, we have to define initial values. There is no hook directly in formic initial values. Initial values is an object which contains username empty and contains mobile empty string. Okay, next we have validation schema. Validation schema, here I want to use yup. So we need to import yup, import star as yup from which library? Yup. Okay, now here you write the validation schema yup dot object. It requires field name, username. For username field, what is the first option is yup dot string. Data type is string. It have required. So username required, that is the message. And we have min. Min is some 4. So name too short. Like this I'm giving. Okay, this is one field. Next field is what? Mobile. Mobile field also uses an yup dot what type string. And it is also required. We have mobile required. And we have matches with some pattern. /+91 /d 10 digits like this. Okay, this is the formic ready. One more we need here. So on submit will collect the user details and we have to use console.log. What is it? User. Directly you define action also here. What to do? That means everything earlier we used to write all this in a use formic hook. But now we don't need any hook. Directly we can write in formic. Now form is ready. You just observe the form. Here I click on inspect, check the console is empty currently. You click on register, it will show those messages. Validation is working. I am entering the field here. You see one more. I click inside and click outside. Blur na. Then you see it shows name required. Better. We haven't written any on change, on blur. And you see I'm typing name too short. That's fine. Mobile is required. So I entered mobile. That is fine. And register, it will submit. This is more simple than whatever you have seen up to now. In that, no logic is required much. Na? We have to just design everything inside forming. So it depends on requirement. We use all of them. What is drawback of this? What is the drawback of this one? Drawback is you are using a ready-made component, then customization problems will come. Suppose You see, this is a field. The field type is text, but text related so many attributes are there. So to set up them, actually now what happens, the text related all attributes it is using, that is heavy na. That means you mentioned date, it will use all date attributes. Why? I need only two or three attributes, like size, like min length, like max length. So what is problem in component? They will add everything, but they will just use only few. What is advantage of manually designing? You can create and add only what is needed. So that means this is good, but when it is good, when you want to use all the features, you want to use all the features and you want to simplify, then better you go with forming. No, you will customize according to your requirements because this is heavy little bit. You want lightweight, add only what is needed, then better you design as I showed yesterday. Here, one more point is that now here, how to disable the button until it is valid, save button, or how to disable. Here, there is no formic reference now. So to in this components, what we can do is, if you want to get this form state, this is a form, I want to get its state. Form state means I want is valid, I want touched, I want dirty, like that. So there is a technique. This is general how you are using the form. But this form related state you want to capture and you want to use that state like dirty is valid and all. So you can try like this. There is another syntax. You can capture the form state and handle form state validations. You can capture the form state and handle form state validations. Capture the form state and handle form state validation. How you can capture is, see, so you designed a formic. Inside formic, all the options will be there. Now here you can put a dynamic expression, binding expression. Here what to do is, you can create one reference called form or formic, any reference. This reference can return the result of form. Whatever form returns, you can store in that formic. That means now what happens? What does it? This indicates it is a shorthand technique. Na? This indicates the return value of form will be stored in a reference called formic. That is a simple return stored in formic. Now we can use formic dot is valid. We can use formic dot dirty. You can use formic dot touched, like this. Errors, everything you can access by using that formic reference. Previously, what we done, we directly used a form. We are not capturing the result of form. We can capture the result of form and store in one reference. This reference name can be anything. You can give any reference name. Huh? This reference name can be anything. You can give any name. It is just like a constant name, and in that name you are storing the result of form. What is advantage of that? You can get the form state, you can handle the form state validation. Let's see. So what I will do now is, I will cut this form I will create a dynamic expression and I created formic implies and I will paste the form. The result of that form, the result of this form will be stored in formic. Now what to do? Simple. For this button, I have used a disabled. What is the disabled logic? Disabled logic is what? Formic. If formic dot what is valid, that is available now. If formic is valid, disabled will be false. Otherwise, it will be true. And you can see it is there now. I will refresh and I click inside and I'm not typing the username and click outside. Now register is disabled. You are entering the details. That is fine. Still register is not disabled because mobile is required. We are entering mobile 919876543210 now. So it is fine. So we can enable, disable, we can show, hide, we can display all errors. How to display all errors now? Formic have errors now. We can display all errors. That means we can capture the result of the form and we can handle the form. So this is the technique of formic components. We can use the result of the form and define. Previously, we are just adding a form inside formic. Now we are capturing the result and using that form. That's one important difference, right? I will keep this example here. This is formic demo dot what JS. Let me copy this example. This is formic related concept. So you have seen one complete library of form and validation. We will use this in a small project now. We are going to learn how to build one small app with some local data, APIs and all we will use. There we will learn all CRUD operation. Create, read, insert, update, delete, all these operations we'll see. There we will use the form with validation. And form successfully validated, data will be stored in the database. We will design that. But to design form, there are so many other libraries also. This is one library. Another famous library for form is, so we have another famous library for form is React Hook Form. We have another library called Hook Form, right? So I asked you yesterday to try exploring this now, right? Because see, in corporate level trainings, that is the habit you need to keep. You finished learning a technology here. You will go to companies. You will be working as a developer. So after you started working, some new technology comes. Now company will not ask you to go to an institute and learn. That is on your interest you will do. But what company will do is they will appoint one corporate trainer and they will give you training on the technology. Not 2 months, 3 months, only 1, 2 days. That means they will just put a trainer for 1, 2 days. And in 1, 2 days, they will finish training you the technology. And you, based on the training, now you have to work on the technology. That is your future. Understood? That means now we are teaching you React for 2 months. But in companies, they will teach you for only 1, 2 days. And how they do that is they say that tomorrow our topic is this. Get prepared with the topic and come. You tell me what you learned by yourself. I will guide you and correct you. That is how corporate training happens. Now here, if I ask you that tomorrow we will learn this topic, you have to learn by yourself and come, then you will ask, then why you are here? I am paying fees. You have to teach me na. Such mindset people will never be a software developer in their life. Mark my words. Such people, such mindset people cannot be a software developer in their lifetime. Even unfortunately, if they become a developer, they can't survive. For more than 1 2 months, they can't work as a developer. Because the point is, in these technologies, the problem is regular updates will come. So many changes will come. You keep on updating. You see companies lay off na, so they will not remove everybody, right? They will keep only few people and remove others. And why you are in the list of layoffs? Why you are in the list of layoffs? Because you are not upgrading yourself. You are not up to mark, right? Then you are not suitable for that. So, especially in React, Angular, and all these web technologies, so many problems because problem is nothing but you keep update yourself because every 1 month, 2 months, new things will come. And every company will not use the same library. They change. Some companies have their own library. You Google about them, you will not find anything. You have to get from their documents only. So let's see how to know about one library. Yesterday I asked you to try na this one. You tell me what you understood. What are features of this hook form? Can anybody tell what are the features of this hook form? You learned, huh? Have you seen that website? Huh? Right. What feature they tell about hook form? First feature, lightweight, faster, easy extensible, performant. Am I right? Ha, good. So what they mention in their website about this hook form is see. So this is hook form. In this hook form, you see the main caption. The main caption says performant, flexible, extensible, easy to use validation. Have you explored what are those words means? Performant means performant means performant means they are faster in interaction. They are lightweight. They are faster in interaction. Now, that is one point about performant. It is fast. Why it is fast? Because it is modular. Modular means it uses only what is needed for the situation. That is performant. What is flexible means? Huh? In any example, can you tell? Anything else? Flexible means means related to form. Flexible form means a form can change dynamically. Flexible forms means a form can change dynamically, which is not easy. For example, you are giving a form to upload photos and you given one file upload control, but he want to upload 5 files. Am I right? Then you will give a button called add more files. When he click add more files, what will happen? One more control will come na? Means a form is dynamically changing. For example, you say that I belong to India, then it will give you some extra features. Like you need to fill up your Aadhaar card details and all. You say I'm not from India, then it will switch to another area. It says that please fill up your passport and all. That means a form should able to dynamically change. And designing like that is not very easy. So it's little difficult to design a form which can change dynamically. And hook form says that we have some solution for that. That means we have a solution for performance. We have a solution for flexibility. Flexibility and extensibility means that we can easily extend without disturbing the existing environment. And easy to validate, easy to use validation. What does it means? Any idea? Anything you learned from that website? Easy to use validation. Anything in that website you found why it is easy to validate? Easy to validate because it uses HTML validations. That means you don't need any separate validation library. HTML have inbuilt validation, inbuilt validation like required min length, max length. It uses those validations. That means you don't need any special separate validation. We have built-in validations of HTML it will use. That is the major facility they mention. So what are the main features of this hook form? They explain actually. So what are the features of this hook form is performant. It is lightweight as it uses less memory. It is modular as it includes only the services required for situation. It is faster in rendering. Rendering, you can say output. These are some key points about performant. So that is one feature of performant. Second one is flexible and extensible. It can adjust according to the requirements. It allows to extend a form by adding new features without disturbing existing form. You can easily add and remove elements from form, from a form. Add, remove elements from a form. That is flexible and extensible. That means in simple terms, a form can change dynamically. A form can change dynamically. Easy to use validations. It uses HTML validation attributes. It doesn't require a third party validation service. Built-in HTML validations are faster in interactions. Easy to use validations. These are the key features of that hook form. But I already told you that if you say these are the good features, again, some complaints are there on this. What is complaint in HTML validation? Complaint in HTML validation is HTML validations are not according to our requirements every time. Several validations are not suitable for our requirements. That's the reason when we learn HTML, we discussed that HTML validations are not great. You can disable HTML validations. You learned na in HTML. In HTML, what you learned, how to disable the default validation. If you want to disable the default validation, you have to use no validate. You learn na? No validate is a form attribute. It will disable HTML validations. Why you are disabling HTML validations if validations are good? Why? Because suppose see now, I'm using HTML validation. Let's say input type here. Username is there. Yeah. After that username, I'm adding an email. Input type is email. And just we will add some option and name is email. Now, what is the point here is email. Yeah. I give an HTML validation called required. I give an HTML called min length. Min length is 4. Currently, I'm using HTML validations. Now see what happens in HTML validation. I am not entering anything and click submit. It says please fill. That's good. I am entering some data. It says minimum 4 characters are required now. Okay, that's good. I am entering email, some David, and I entered submit. It says please include at the net. I included at the net and I said www. Is it a valid email? But it will take, because in HTML, email validation is just verifying at the net there or not, but that doesn't satisfy. Like that, HTML have so many validations which are not suitable for our requirement. Then what we do? We disable HTML validations and we write our own validation. And when you write your own validation, we disable HTML validation by using an attribute called no validate. No validate indicates that don't use any validation. Developer will write all the validation. Now, if I set no validate without entering anything, if I submit, it will submit. It will not verify because we disabled the validations using no validate. So everything looks great, good, but problem is also there. What is problem is many people are not satisfied with HTML validation. And hook form says that we are using those validation. So every time, every third party is not great. Another problem is These people provide everything using hooks only. That means every concept is handled using a hook. Then obviously old projects cannot use, because they are using what type of components? Class. So you cannot use them. So this library is completely useless for a React application which is using class components, because we can't use them because it completely depends on hooks. Okay, let's see. Now, features you understood. That means where you got the features related information is the first screen itself, it is showing now. Okay. Now, to learn about this library, which option you selected first? To know what it is, how it works, from where you started here. Big button is there, get started. Obviously, you might have started from get started. So that is not the correct place. That means you will not able to understand any library directly from get started. Get started is for the people who already know about the library and they want to use it. If you already know about library and you want to use the library, then you have to use that button. So you don't know anything about library, then how you will use get started? So then the question is, from where we can know about everything about the library, what they provide, how they work, what options they have. That is present in a option called API. Is there any API there? Yes. So as a developer, to learn any library, first you have to check where is its API. You have to check where is its API. You should start from there. Because see, online internet will provide so many tutorials. But the problem is learners are confused where to start. So complete React.js project, React.js course is present online on YouTube. Am I right? Have you seen on YouTube? Complete React.js YouTube tutorial is there, right? Somebody made a recording of my YouTube videos also and made a tutorial on YouTube and he's selling them, you know. So already my UI class, my React class related YouTube tutorials are present. They are selling them. You want my notes or my videos? Some Telegram groups are there. They are selling my videos. They recorded all my videos through online class and they are selling them. Right? Very cheap, 99 rupees. Students, for students, that's fine. 99 rupees. Entire set of videos, that 60 or 70 videos are there on YouTube. Right? So you will get all those videos. Entire React.js class is present, A to Z. That's the reason for every batch we need to change examples, features, options. We need to change. They can follow the tutorial, but they will get a basic idea. But the problem is so many tutorials are there online free. Why you are attending again class? You want to learn Java, complete Java tutorial is free online. Java is in Hindi, Telugu, Tamil. In your own language, they will teach you complete tutorial. Good tutorials there. But what is the problem is the people who teach you there, sometimes they train you on a concept up to which extent what they know about it. Understood? That is problem. What they know about that concept is telling different than what it is actually. Learning a technology is not about knowing about what he knows about Java. It is about what actually Java is. Understood? That means many YouTubers, what they do, they tell what they know about it. But actual correct point is you should know what actually it is. Am I right? That is such videos you have to look. There you will get the correct information. That means he will not tell what he knows. He will tell what it is actually. That is what a learner should learn, because he should know an option and he should able to implement that option in various situations. So whenever you are learning any library, the first thing you have to check is API. You see here, this is the hook form. I will show you practically. See, if I click get started, if I click get started, then you will see it will show directly installing, and it shows directly an example, na? Right? How you will know that this is suitable for your project? Right? The example shown in the first screen, how you confirm that this is correct required for your project? This is not exactly what you need for your project. Your project requirement may be different. That means you cannot start from get started. So let's see where we can start. Where we can start, we can go to what? API. When we go to API, here it will show you complete overview. That means they say that this hook form, React hook form, have use form, use controller, use form context, use watch. So many hooks are there. Na? That means now when I come to API, I will get a complete picture that, okay, these people have all these facilities. And you can see these people have all these facilities. And in which version, what facilities are changing, they will give version number also. Na? That means when you come to API, you came to a conclusion that the formic is having, hook form is having, what are the hooks it is having? Use form hook, use controller hook, use form context, use watch, use form state, use field array. Now the question is, which one is suitable for you? My requirement is I want to design a form to collect the data from the user, validate the data and submit to server. That is my requirement. So which one is suitable? Why? Because already they explained their detail overview. Na? In the brief, see what they mentioned. They mentioned that use form is a hook to design a form with minimum validations. Na? Right. And what is use controller? They say that it is good for form which is in a controlled component. Understood? They are saying that it is good for a form which is in controlled component. We have two types of components, uncontrolled components and controlled. Uncontrolled components means best option is first one. What is difference in form in a controlled component and uncontrolled component? What is difference between a form in controlled component and a form in uncontrolled component? You know the difference between controlled and uncontrolled components. What is controlled component? What is controlled component? It is controlled by the data from parent. Am I right? That means you designed a form and the data will be directly provided in the form. Then which one will you choose? You designed a form, data is directly provided in the form. Then which one will you choose? We'll choose the first one, na? Use form. You designed a form in a component, but the data for the form comes from another parent. That means in parent, they will fill up the details which will come into the child. In child, we will access the data and we will submit from child. Then for such reasons, which one is there? Use control. If you want to avoid props drilling, if a form is present at very multi-level hierarchy, na, then we want to send directly parent to the child. Then use form context. Am I right? Why? Because context memory is used for avoiding props drilling. Na? right? That is how we need to learn the technology. That means usually whenever a new library comes, it will take early morning 3, 4 for me to know about it. Again, morning 7 o'clock, I need to come to class, right? It will take time 3, 4 every day almost. When a new concept comes, we need to deliver you, we need to train you to explore and know about it. It will take early morning 3, 4 sometimes to explore, because next day we need to teach you, because yesterday it is released, now we have to deliver you, right? That means it's not easy to explore immediately. So much hard work is there. You need to explore, you need to sit and know every concept, where which option they added, because we cannot go wrong in class while teaching you, right? That means we need to check, because we are also new to it. We don't know, yesterday only they released, then I need to know about it. And somebody will not be sitting there to train me on that new concept, right? We have to explore. So it's not easy. They look very simple because I explained you. Understood? They look very simple because I explained you. Now usually you in 5 minutes you understood. First one is used for designing a form which is absolute. Second one is used for designing a form which gets the data from parent. Another one to avoid props drilling using context memory. These originally, if you want to explore and know about them, then you have to read more about those. And so many issues also will be there. So that means technical problems will come. We need to rectify. Every technology trainer have to face this. Not only us. Java, .NET, a new concept comes means he have to explore everything detailedly. He cannot go wrong, right? You are ready to catch mistakes. No? While learning, you will compare with so many. You will be always in touch of YouTube videos regularly. That means we cannot misguide you. You also know the concept. Only the point is we need to exactly deliver the purpose. And that you don't need to wait for us. You can learn by yourself also. But little bit extra effort you need to put, because you need to read and understand. Because these technical writings generally learner cannot understand immediately, because these are technical English. These learners cannot understand, because we need English movies with English subtitle. Obviously, right? You are watching English movie and you need English subtitle. Then how you can understand high level technical terms? Somebody need to guide them, right? If you have, even you have English movie with subtitles, you need to keep a dictionary also with you, right? Some dialogues you can't even understand, right? So here also same thing. Some technical guide must be there to explain use those terms, because they are not generally used terms, technical terms. Okay, now for designing a form, which one is suitable for us? Use form. A basic form, let's go to the use form. Now it will show you all information about it. That means what properties it is having. You can see all the props. Props are the properties, na? What properties it is having, how to design the form, all information is present here. What it is going to return. And not only here, generally developers can get more information from their website, and not only from the website. I showed you now. Suppose I am using, let's say I'm using this component, or I am creating a hook. Let form is equal to what it is, use forming. Now see here, I'm using this hook. As a developer, if I want to know what is its data type, what it returns, because how I know that I should use let for this? That means how do I know that I need to use let or constant or var? How do I know that I have to declare a variable, not any state? That means we need to explore, right click and go to definition. When we go to definition, it will show that it is a function. Am I right? And see in the function what values it is having. That means initial values, initial errors, initial touched, initial status. There are so many. But we learned only what is needed for us. We have handle blur, handle change, right? How we know which option it is having? By using this technique. Right click, go to definition. Then you will learn more. Actually, that is present in their website. And the website also shows the same thing. All the properties. Na? It will show all the properties. Now let's see how to design a simple form according to these people and how to handle that. For that, first, what you have to do now after learning the API, you have to go to get started. After knowing about everything in the API, then you have to go to get started. Here they will show you how to install. Let's see the process how we can install. So first option is how to explore the library. I will just give a point here. So I will just guide here exploring a new library. Few points for your guidance I will give here. So visit the official website or Git repository. Official website or Git repository of library. Some libraries these days don't have any website for them. They provide a Git repository. Then in Git repository, where to know about it? Git repository contains a collection of files, na? Right? That means some libraries don't have a website. If it is having a website, you can directly go to the website. Some they don't have website, they have Git repository. So what you have to do is official website like this one. I will copy this. This is React hook form. Second point is if it is a website, if it is a website, if it is a website, then if it is a website, then go to API and explore all features provided by library. So if it is a Git repository where you will find, if it is a Git repository, they will have readme.md. I told you this file, remember the readme.md. Go to readme.md to explore and know about library. If it is a website, you will find API. And if it is a Git repository, majority they will have everything inside this file, readme. Because some of libraries don't have any website, they maintain a Git repository. And in that repository, every professional Git repository have a readme document. So this is the point. Next option is hook form. Hook form provides various services like use form, use controller. What else? Use form context. use form state, use watch, etc. Like that, they have so many. Every service is every service is not required for an application. Every service is not required for an application. So you have to find exactly relative service for your project. You have to find exactly relative service for your project. Here in this case, use form for simple form with validations. Use controller for a form in controlled component where data comes from parent. So this is controller. So that is controller. Similarly, others also, I am not giving all of them. And use form context is for avoiding props drilling, and using context memory. For adding elements, dynamically removing elements, they have a hook called use array. That array is for, array behavior is push pop. That means you can add new elements, you can remove elements, you can update the elements using array. So all are not required depending on situation here. Okay, these are the steps how to explore. Next, one more point is go to get started. To start to set up and install library for project. We have to use npm install react hook form and save. Hook form and save. So next, what you have to do, configure a form using use form hook. We have to configure form using use form hook. Import use form from react hook form. You have to import it. After that, you need to create a constant. We need three references: register, handle, submit, and form state. It uses errors as an object. Use form. So use form is going to return three values. Use form is going to return three. We have to capture three values. One is register, and actually this register, it refers to form and its elements. Form and its elements you can access using register. Handle submit. Handle submit is nothing but it defines actions to perform on submit. It defines actions on submit. Form state, it returns the errors. It is going to return the errors. You need three. How to design the form is we have to create a form on submit. Sorry, here one more point is that I will give a point. Create a method for handling submit action. Create a method for handling submit action. Constant submit is equal to collect the values, and you have to console dot log and whatever the values. Values are nothing but form data. We have to write a form. In that form on submit, we have to use handle submit, and it should use the submit function. That is how we design a form. So that means what happens? Handle submit will fire up. It will collect all the form data and it will send the form data into this function. That means now submit function will collect all the values coming from the form and it will use those values. That means this submit method will fire up when user clicks the button. And to execute that, you need a event. And what is that event? Handle submit. Handle submit. One more is that every element, input type, text or any element, it is binded using dot 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 spread operator, register and field name. And we have validations. We have to set up the validation. For every field, you need to write this. That means register form will define a field like username, password, age field, and it will put some validations for that. Here in validations, you have to write required min length, max length. It is an object. You have to write all validations here. This is validation. And how to display error message? So error message is defined using errors dot field name question mark dot type is equal to error type. If it is matching with that error type, then on true what to do, on false what to do, you have to tell. That's how we write the validation. And question mark is an null reference character. I will explain that. We'll see. That is the basic process of using designing a form. Now the form is ready with all validations. You can just use it. Now we will see how to design one form with this. That we'll see tomorrow. Right. In tomorrow's session, I will show a simple form how to design using hook form. After that, I will give you some tasks to explore on it. You should try them. Then tomorrow we will see what is newly added into React 19 forms. In React 19, they added some new things which will be little simple. And what are those? We will see tomorrow session. Okay, right.